PWO, 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 PWO.
Hello, hello, hello. It is Monday, and we had a bunch of wrestling to talk about. As always, I'm your host, Matt. I have the Dean of Old School, D. White, with us.
Okay, here.
The Cod Father, Ryan Coddington.
For his discretion.
Jeff Hitman Hall. I'm surprised he's not disparaging Heartbreak Kid right now. And
give him a minute.
As always, backed by popular demand, it's Pat.
Hey,
Pat, you're looking really good tonight.
As noted,
feeling really good tonight.
We
Heck
do
yeah.
have someone missing from the show. Unfortunately, Ben from Colorado has refused to apologize for continuing to say that the Nightmare Sisters were going to win the entire AEW Women's Deadly Draw. So,
Suspended.
for the time being,
Without pay.
he's suspended without pay.
Sensitivity training.
I gotta heal it up as the Vince McMahon of PWO. So
I don't think
I'll
that you
deem
being
otherwise.
Vince. I just think that's you being kind of Teddy Longish. You know,
When
next
do you
thing
make
tag team match player?
When do you make Ben kiss your ass? That's all I want to know.
So
When do you make Ben face the Undertaker?
So I have to tell you, Ben actually got off pretty light here because Matt was telling me at work today that he had a drafted Future Endeavors letter that he had.
Oh, wow.
this morning.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Hey,
can't be sharing
well-
the secrets here right now.
Well, I know you could. I mean, just from watching BTE, if you guys caught that, we could. I mean, Matt Hardy has suggested we could hit him in the face with a chair and then Future Endeavor him. I mean, you know,
That would be great.
a receipt and a Future Endeavor. You know?
I like the end of that where they're like, "Is he okay? No.
He goes,
should we fire him or Sammy?
he goes, well, should we fire him? He goes, who? Matt Hardy?
Or Sammy? Which one?"
Yeah,
So
that was pretty good. It's pretty good.
yeah, it was pretty fun. I really enjoyed Dark Order celebrating, but we're gonna get into why they celebrated later.
Dude, how about that $1 million sponsorship from Chili's they got? I didn't even know.
Man, I would tell you, I would be very happy to be sponsored by Chili's.
That should
Good
be
thing
our,
Silver remembered the Chili's.
that should be our last segment. How we spend our Chili's money.
There you go.
I might be able to get sponsored by Applebee's actually.
Ooh, yeah.
All right, but we are going to start over in New Japan. They just closed their first polls for their King of Pro Wrestling 2020 match stipulations. Over 170,000 votes were cast to help determine the matches for Okada, Desperado, and others. Starting on Wednesday, Okada versus Takahashi. Okada was looking for a 1-on-3 handicap match, while Yujiro chose a lumberjack with leather belts death match.
Nice.
And shocker, Okada's choice won. So it's going to be a 1-on-3 handicap match, him versus the rest of Bullet Club.
He's going to buzz them down like an unstoppable force.
He's Japanese.
I can assume it's him, Jado, and Gato, right?
Yeah, that's my
Yeah.
assumption.
Okay. Then it's going to be Okada.
Toru Yano and Bushi. So Yano wanted a 2-count pinfall match,
Ooh, that's good.
and Bushi. wait.
Oh, my
It's
God.
even better. Bushi wanted a 5-count ring out match.
No.
Okay.
Two count pin is
count.
the best thing I've ever heard in my life.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
yeah,
that's-
one.
That's
I
I
bet-
like it.
This is
I've actually never
further.
heard that.
This is further explained. There are no submissions, DQs, or countout in this match. The only way to win is to pin your opponent for a 2-count.
That's
Yeah.
Yano's the best.
awesome. He's
So, unfortunately, Sonata and Sho both want a submission match.
okay.
So there's no fan vote for that one. It's just going to be a submission match.
There you go.
But I have to carry on in the spirit of people. Sho's going to win.
Hey.
Jeff, You know it. Sonata doesn't win the big one. I wish that wasn't
Apparently
true.
not.
Although, go ahead and ask Ben, who had Show in his Final Four, the schmuck. Like,
Hey,
not gonna happen.
let's put it out here for a vote. I think if Show wins, Matt should have to kiss Ben's ass.
That's what I'm saying.
Suspension lifted.
There you go.
There you go. We'll find out on Wednesday, or I guess Thursday for us.
Yeah.
And last match ultimately decided. Desperado wanted a no finishers allowed against Koshima's idea of only finishers allowed.
Okay.
So like finish.
That would be great.
It's a Goldberg match.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But we saw last night that the backslide or the roll up is the most devastating move in wrestling. So I think Desperado is on to something.
So these all start Wednesday, August 26th. For us, I believe it will be Thursday morning at way too in the world.
4-ish.
And August 29th we're gonna find out who is the provisional King of Pro Wrestling champion.
I'm glad there's not a belt. I will say that they already have too many belts. Having this trophy or just title or whatever, I think it's kind of cool. I mean, it's creative, and I'm all about that. With this. So,
isn't that the original pitch though? Is to have a title for it?
No, it's a title. It's not a belt. I think that's.
Yeah.
So you're confusing Vince McMahon's crazy butchering of the English language. Okay, a title is not a belt. A belt is a belt. A championship is not a belt.
Yeah,
a belt
exactly.
is a belt.
Also, to be off topic, Jim Ross on AEW said medical facility. Just throwing that out there.
Oh God.
Hardwired in them.
Sometimes they do it tongue in cheek, just to
Yeah. All right, so we're going to start where the majority of us started this weekend.
Mhm.
That's with AEW.
Beautiful.
For those of you who didn't know, AEW was moved to Saturday night due to NBA playoffs. Let's go Heat. What is a Pacer? Things I'll never know.
It's a horse.
It is swept. That's what it's going to be.
The Pacer is the thing you ran when you were in elementary school for like days on end.
But also, we looked it up. It was actually their name because of the pace car of the
Indianapolis 500. Yeah.
Yeah, well, they're about to get paced out of the playoffs.
It is, swept is what they're about to
go
do.
Heat. So this forced AEW to move to Saturday. The spoilers, for the most part, were wrong.
Mm-hmm.
The obvious ones were obvious, but either they did go back and retape, or whoever put them out was wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're retaped.
Mm-hmm. I hope so, because that's what I would do.
Yeah.
I have sent a message to someone who was at the taping, and I haven't gotten a response yet. So I'm curious to see what it will be.
Mm-hmm.
Friend of the program.
Huh?
Friend of the program.
Right.
Yeah.
Well. I will say this. I'm glad they're doing that, and as has been, some people have put this out in the. If you go to one of these, please don't come back with spoilers. It's really douchey thing to do. I know.
Yeah.
I had cousins used to go to like the TV tapings when they do studio tapings, and they'd record like a month in advance. Man, I don't want to know what happened.
Yeah, and then you see what happened to the tag team from NXT who spoiled the Keith Lee title win. They haven't been on TV since, fam. If I won't ever be again.
There was Azkaban.
So
future endeavored.
Speaking of tag teams, AEW opened up with FTR versus Private Party, and who was with FTR in an incredible FTR jacket?
Tully Blanchard.
Tully.
Oh, Tully.
I thought this was wonderful. I really enjoyed Tully in general. Private Party.
What a great match.
Yeah. Private Party continues to really, I feel, move up in this competition. Whenever it's them versus someone else who's really green, it always kind of seems like something's not clicking. But whenever it's something like hey,
Or
it's
somebody
best
that can lead them.
there's like I don't know if it's just them being carried, but it always seems like they move smoother.
I feel
Yeah.
like it's also them trying to meet their competition as well.
Yeah.
Especially if you think about it, the AEW tag tournament when it was them and the Bucks in the first round. I mean, they had like one botch in that match, and that was it.
They tore the house down though. It was a great match.
They killed it. So I think it's partially that.
Yeah, and then you put them. They've had other matches like on Dark too. They've had a couple times. It's just like, yeah, it shows their greenness shows, but they look good, man.
This is slow down. They'll be fine.
Yeah, that match against FTR, that's the best they've looked.
Yep.
Yeah, that and the Young Bucks match. Afterwards, we get a pre-recorded promo by Jon Moxley.
Hey, before we go on, can we just address the backstage thing with FTR, Tully, and Hangman right now?
Oh
Yeah, we can do that now if we'd like.
So, what do you guys think of that? Are they gonna dupe Hangman when they win the belts off of them, or is this gonna work into a slow turn for Hangman? It seems like the obvious thing would be the turn, but like I almost kind of feel like he's gonna get duped.
Mm-hmm. Or it's kind of a head fake, and we'll get the Omega turn and the Hangman babyface run.
See, I see that more than the other. I feel like they're gonna be the new trio, FTR and Omega, and then they're gonna screw Hangman over.
Well, they're gonna be a foursome because Sean Spears is gonna be a part of this Tully Blanchard unit, whether it's 4 horsemen or not.
Who is now a dark veteran.
Yeah, there you go.
Like Tully said, my guy. I think he forgot his name.
My guy.
My guy.
So what's building off of that is next week, this coming Thursday, there's going to be a tag team gauntlet match, and entrance into the match is based off of their AEW tag team rankings. Beautiful execution there, in my opinion. And so they're only starting from 4 up.
Right.
So
that was a really good way of using those rankings where they can have a unique system with that. Because there's no real rhyme or reason for gauntlet matches orders except just random draw. So I thought that was a neat touch.
Mm-hmm.
Makes that much more important to win too. So
also, I'm gonna call it now. The Bucks are gonna not make it to FTR in that gauntlet match. They're gonna save that.
Well, I
think so.
It's gonna start with Natural Nightmares versus Young Bucks. Winner of that will get Best Friends, and the winner of that one will face number 1 ranked FTR.
So Best Friends and FTR.
Yeah, that's what I think.
Natural Nightmares are a joke. Stop it.
Oh, come on.
I mean, I don't hate them.
I do, because QT Marshall is like, create a wrestler 4, and then Dustin Rhodes is still doing great stuff.
Did you see when he did that like springboard and he went ass over tea kettle?
That match is coming up, but first we got to talk about this MJF campaign promo. So
the girl that just stands and smiles.
Killing it.
Is her name Nadia?
No. Let me see.
Nadia?
He said her name in the promo, like such and such who always smiles.
Nina.
I was close. But God, MJF just healing up, talking about the dangers of the paradigm shift, how it can potentially ruin careers. I appreciate that despite being the hero, you're putting over your opponent's finisher as something deadly, and you're using it as part of your story.
I'm sure
that is old school.
More than anyone, Dwight appreciates this because of the lost deadliness of the DDT.
Yes. Well,
DDT.
Well, that's just the old school in me, protecting finishers and things like that, and then selling these things as dangerous. I remember when they had long ago, Nick Bockwinkel came through in WCW, and Nick Bockwinkel's thing was a pile driver, and he's like, the pile driver is banned and all these, organizations, and here he is, and he can't use his finisher because it's banned, and I mean that's it. And so when someone would do it, like when Terry Funk Ric Flair on the announce table, and just like, oh my gosh, you killed him. And we've lost that now because we see matches with 7 tornado DDTs in a row, and they can't even get a 2 count out of it.
Yeah, I think the last time we saw that stipulation used well, it was the CM Punk Undertaker feud when CM Punk got the call up from ECW.
Yeah. That's a good pull. Right.
Moving on. Next thing for AEW, we had Jurassic Express and the Natural Nightmares defeat the Butcher and the Blade and Lucha Bros due to some incohesiveness. And Mike DeShazo calling it. We got a new stable between Butcher and Blade, Lucha Bros, and much to my joyous surprise, Eddie Kingston.
I got it.
Yeah,
all the Kingsmen.
Yeah.
Yeah, but as you saw, Kingston, we got a new stable.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
So there's 2 things I love about this. One, many stables makes for great wrestling.
Yeah.
Because it builds in natural storylines, natural rivalries. But man, AEW is not afraid to take guys like Kingston, and we're seeing with Ricky Starks, guys that are brand new to the company and maybe do not have household names. Like, obviously we know these guys, but the average fan does not, and they're immediately get put into major roles. Which I think is going to pay off because guys like Starks and Kingston can be big time stars.
Yeah, Starks is a superstar.
Hell yeah!
Oh yeah. We'll get to that later.
And it's very reminiscent of the territory days. I'm going to throw out the old school thing, because in the territory days, and the wrestling magazines is what facilitated this, was when a guy came in, they assumed you knew him. This guy's been a champion all over the world, where WWE pretends they don't exist outside of their universe, changes names and things like that. Where here, it's like, well, of course Ricky Starks was the NWA television champion. Of course you already know that. That kind of thing. Well, maybe they don't, but it sells them as that they're stars when they get there, instead of these guys are, trainees, and one day they'll be superstars. But
thing's been gone for 20 years doing nothing.
Right. Well, and so I like it. I like it. And with Eddie Kingston, I know I heard on one of the news sites that I think it was probably Cage Side Seats, where actually when he listed off his list of names, he threw Rey Mysterio's name out and they edited it out in pre-production. So,
yeah, that did happen.
Yeah. So
we keep moving here with AEWs. We get a vignette. We find out that it is going to be Dr. Britt Baker versus Big Swole next week in any match, and it's going to be a handicap match. Britt Baker has recruited Penelope Ford as well as Reba Rebel.
Love me some Reba, boy.
There you go.
We're probably going to get Nicole Savoy in this. This would be great.
You have to appreciate that it's a handicap match and that she has been in a wheelchair for the last several months.
Oh, I think she'll be in the wheelchair. I don't think she's actually going to participate.
I agree. I think that's going to happen.
Gosh, that's clever. I like it.
As long as they wait for Baker to return it all out, I think it's a good call.
Yeah.
And then we get Orange Cassidy interview, which is, of course, immediately interrupted by Chris Jericho congratulating Orange Cassidy on his win. And we get what I'm sure is Jeff Hall's favorite stipulation. It's going to be Orange Cassidy, Chris Jericho 3 in the deadliest match of all. Mimosa Mayhem.
That's right.
What do you so funny.
What do you get when you pair orange juice with a little bit of the bubbly? That's right. Mimosa
Great
Mayhem.
Sunday brunch.
The story writes itself.
It really does.
So here's the thing. It's dumb, but but it's intentionally dumb.
Yeah,
Like,
that's even good. No, and that's just like the wink he gave Jericho gave when he was talking. He was saying he was the innovator of a certain match where you have a ladder and a briefcase. Wink, wink. So this is an intended jab at WWE again.
and it was so like his vignette for it was so over the top. Like even just in the vocals, the voiceover. Oh, it's gonna be mayhem. Like it's like a monster.
Someday.
I was gonna say like a monster truck show.
Yeah.
Was exactly where I was going with it. Like it's so intentionally over the top. Yeah, it's stupid. It's hokey.
A little bit of satire in professional wrestling.
But that's exactly it. And whatever about the match, it's gonna be dumb, I think. But
yeah, and the thing about it is that you're gonna look at All Out. You're gonna have a hard hitting tag match. You're gonna probably have a TNT title rematch depending on the status of Cody. If not, you're still gonna have a hard hitting TNT championship match. Sorry, spoiler alert. You're gonna have the AEW title match. All three are gonna be hard hitting. And I think that right in the middle of everything is going to be perfectly booked to give you a break from everything else going
on.
If anyone can get it over, it'll be Jericho.
Oh, hell yeah.
Next up, we had Young Bucks and Kenny Omega defeat the Dark Order, the team of Alex Reynolds, John Silver, and Alan Angels. After the match, Omega loses his cool again. He grabs a chair after he was hit with the chair. He had the chair kicked in his face. All of course these wonderful things. Omega sets up to powerbomb him through the bottom side of the chair, so they have the legs up. But one of the Young Bucks moves it out of the way. Omega still drops him. Sets up to do it again. Like, what are you doing? Why are you stopping me? And then finally he's like, fine, whatever, fine. Further hinting, I'm ready for it.
I am too. Kenny in the cleaner.
Looks like he's trying to clean house.
I thought 3, 4, and 5 were really impressive in this match. It's kind of like Private Party. You put them with some really elite talent and kind of showcase that these guys are not just chumps again. Like AEW has not been afraid to showcase guys who are not no commodities.
This is another reason why the Omega turn is going to be the heel turn and Hangman is going to be the face turn. Because even after Omega, tried to put what's his face through the chair, all right, you still had on BTE. They were all like, F Hangman, and they were all losing their mind. So it just further goes to show you that we're getting the Hangman face turn, and then more than likely the Omega heel turn.
Well, and
Hangman might be dead.
Right, he might.
Watched all the BTE.
Well, let's follow up with what you were just saying, Ryan. And I think it's something AEW is doing a lot more effectively than WWE ever has, and that's using those web shows and using them to because what it does is you're missing something if you don't watch BTE. You're missing something if you don't watch Dark, right? And they don't show clips. They don't do recaps from those things. And while normally I think, well, if you don't watch those things, some of it you're a little bit lost with. But then again, it's like it's driving you to watch the other product, right? It's giving you a reason to watch those things when they come out. And so as being somebody that watches BTE, Dark Order is already over for me, right? So when you see those guys in a match and they do really well, they're already good characters on BTE, especially Silver. He cracks me up. And then, of course, the way Brody...
And, of course, he's his least favorite, yeah.
He just abuses him all the time.
We got about 9 minutes. We got to roll. So, Darby Allin defeated Will Hobbs. Allin, a little tweener here. He attacked Will Hobbs early. Pretty relentless. He ended up getting the win. Kind of sad. I really hope Will Hobbs gets a little bit better.
It's a big dude.
Treatment. I think he's a star. As well as Sean Dean. I love Jeff Hall. So. I think the best part about this whole thing, Ricky Starks came out afterwards dressed in Darby Allin gear, just making fun of him. I'm emo and I'm this and I want to die. Great, fantastic promo work. Matt Hardy attacked Sammy Guevara during commercial, which I thought was great. I know some people didn't like it because it was on commercial break, but it's during the time that Sammy Guevara has been doing the card cutaways.
Mm-hmm.
We did get the final of the Deadly Draws, and if you didn't understand it when I said it earlier, the Nightmare Sisters lost to Ivelisse and Diamante.
Mm-hmm.
Thank God.
Which was
Perfect.
really good.
Listen, and the best thing about this is that you get two brand new established heel singles women stars in your roster. Okay, and it was when they were going to get the trophy and they were getting flowers and they're holding up their flags instead and throwing the flowers down. Immediately heels. Immediately more matches for Sheeta.
Totally blowing off Medusa.
Well,
That was great.
You're
great.
assuming that Cheetah's going to be champion after all out. Because
Right.
following, we got our
Mhm.
vignette, and the thing that we've all been thinking was going to happen finally did. Thunder Rosa shows up and officially challenges Sheeta. I think the best part about this, though, she showed up with the NWA Women's Championship.
Yeah. So is this a title versus title?
No.
It wasn't said to be. So here's the thing.
Obviously NWA has given her the blessing, right?
I mean,
There were, there's an agreement in place with NWA. So Eddie Kingston was working with NWA, Ricky Starks, that's where he was. So let's just count down till we see Outlandish Zicky Dykes on AEW. You know?
Please.
Oh,
Thank you.
Hopefully, this is the sign that they're going to work together and have some crossover work.
Yeah, there's definitely an agreement in place.
God, I hope this isn't a one-off for Thunder Rosa. Not that I will necessarily have a problem with Sheeta going over her, but I hope they're not just bringing her in for a one-off.
I agree.
Because she's one of the best women's talents on this side of the hemisphere.
Yeah,
Thunder Rosa is legit. And
Yes.
to me, I may be in my own here, but way more legit than Sheeta. Sheeta's great. Don't get me wrong. She's absolutely great. But I'd like to think that Thunder Rosa is on another level.
Rosa might
She
be
poses a legitimate
the
threat.
best women's wrestler in the world right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's a legitimate claim to that.
yes.
Cobra Moon.
Related to Max Moon.
And last, and certainly not least, maybe the best segment of professional wrestling this weekend. Maybe, since the Royal Rumble, I might make a bold claim there. Brody Lee squashed Cody to win the TNT title. The TNT World title.
Mm-hmm.
I was shocked by that.
Yeah,
I liked it, but I couldn't believe they made Brody look as strong as he did.
I didn't mind.
I'm happy about it.
I didn't mind the ending. I just didn't like the squash. So Cody's been beating everybody up forever and a day, and he faces Brody, who has lost to a couple people, and then Brody just kills him. Which is
I love it because
which is fine. No, which is fine if you're saying if you're elevating him, that's fine.
I mean,
yeah, and it's been a slow burn for this though, because progressively over the weeks, Cody's gotten a little bit more cockier and cockier, calling himself Prince of Wrestling. The Prince of Professional Wrestling. And it's kind of that he got too cocky. He got too big for his britches.
And Arn has called out that you're running yourself ragged also. They did set up you ran into a buzzsaw and you've been overworking yourself clearly.
Or too torn down.
Yep.
Oh hey, so I have the Heat game on in the background here, and here's another ad for AEW on the screen.
Yeah,
I like it.
TNT man is real good to AEW.
So aside from Brody legitimizing Dark Order by winning the belt and squashing Cody, this whole segment was fantastic. Where Dark Order just ran ragged at the end, beating the crap out of everybody, and just that was really good. Them standing tall the way they did and causing chaos was great.
No, I agree. I agree. I just hope that they, and it looks like they will, but they continue to build off of this and use this and finally use these guys or portray them as a legit, faction.
All right. Any closing thoughts before we move on to NXT?
No, it's a good show.
It was great. I think we're probably gonna get Darby versus Ricky Starks at All Out. It would be nice to see the Dark Order get the tag titles later down the road, and for Hangman and Omega to retain. But I feel like they've been tag champs for a while. Whoever wins the Gauntlet match next week may take them.
Yeah, I think it's time.
Yep.
NXT. On the pre-show, Breezango defeated Oni Lorcan and Danny Burch and Legado del Fantasma to become the number one contenders for the NXT tag titles. I think it makes sense. They're the only faces in the match.
Mm-hmm.
They like keeping Imperium pure heel. So Finn Balor defeated Timothy Thatcher in the opener, which I thought was a pretty decent matchup.
Oh, it was great.
enjoyed. Yeah, I really enjoyed this match a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I think Timothy Thatcher needs to ask Roman Reigns about where he got his new teeth.
Oh.
I think he's
We'll get to that.
Messed up, honestly.
So what's next for Finn Balor?
Leader of Retribution.
Leader of Retribution. That's where I'm at right now. We'll find out.
No.
We'll find that out. And
Oh no.
because Raw just started.
Mm-hmm.
We have our
Great.
new NXT North American champion. It is Damian Priest,
Mm-hmm.
Archer of Infamy. But I want to take a moment to shout out Bronson Reed for the Bam Bam attire.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes, that was awesome.
Love Bronson Reed.
And Damian Priest for the HBK gear.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, everyone was pretty inspired and showing off old school gear.
Mm-hmm. Well,
I wonder who produced this match.
Yeah, well, let me just say that other than that, it was a train wreck of a match, though. I mean, it was just spot, set up for another spot, taking turns. I mean, it wasn't bad as far as that goes, but it just seemed like random people running up the ladder, do a spot, another guy runs up the ladder, do a spot. Gargano, I don't know, man. I'm not buying this Johnny Gargano at all.
He needs to go away for 3 months and come back as babyface.
So did anybody else notice, because I went back and watched it, did anybody else notice that whenever Velveteen Dream was on offense, the crowd was dead?
There
Yes.
was Gargano
Completely
chance
quiet.
Dream was going to get over.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was. I don't know. I enjoyed the match because I didn't know who was going to win it. Bronson Reed continues. It was funny because he put out on Twitter the day before that he said, I'm going to wear gear inspired by a Hall of Famer, guess who? And I actually responded Bam Bam Bigelow because he looks like Bam Bam Bigelow. He impresses me every time. But the match itself just seemed like it was just a collection of spots. And it was probably it looked edited together, honestly.
Yeah, you're right, Dwight.
I think that Bronson Reed though could be a first good rivalry for Damian Priest. I think they work well together enough to pull it off.
Agreed.
Sure.
So, hey, hold on.
You got minutes from NXT.
So, Jeff, I think you just said, is that live from Raw?
That was like the commercial break, kind of like still before they actually went to commercial.
Matt, did I not tell you they would put him on both shows this week?
Unless they're plugging SmackDown.
They're plugging Roman Reigns, so that's all that matters.
No, I'm not even watching it now. So
I'm watching it now. The Drews, they're showing the whole Drew Orton thing.
Anyway,
we're gonna get there. Adam Cole defeated Pat McAfee. Thank God. I think we need to emphasize this.
Is Cole leaving still? Do we think Cole's leaving, or do we think Cole's staying around?
I mean, they made Cole look like a damn peon. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yes.
Like,
well, not the match, but definitely the promos leading up to it. I mean, he crapped all on wrestling, totally.
My take on it, okay, comparing the two matches between first-time performers, between Pat McAfee at NXT, and then we'll get to it, but Dominic Mysterio, I thought that Adam Cole looked pretty bad, letting Pat McAfee get all this offense in. I get that it's a celebrity. I get that it's a celebrity match. Okay, and if this was 1998 and this was WCW, this thing would have been great. Okay, because you had Hulk Hogan selling like crazy to a Jay Little arm lock. Okay, and that's great. Okay,
No,
it is 20 in 1998. Okay,
No, it
we'll
wasn't
get to
great
it.
then either. Wasn't great then
No.
either.
Referee's discretion. Anyway,
I
shut
can't
up.
suspend
Anyway,
my disbelief.
so listen. Okay, comparing the two. Okay, it just made NXT look bad, and it made Adam Cole look bad. And if he re-signed, then it's the dumbest mistake he's ever made.
Yeah, I won't feel sorry for him at all. We talked about this. If you resign, it's on you.
Yeah, and if you're in it for the money, then again, it's on it's on you.
Again, PWO, get your money. But
Yeah.
oof, I guess.
So here's my thing, and I said this earlier. I don't have an issue with Pat McAfee wrestling. I don't have an issue him being in a match. I have an issue with him making everyone else on the roster look bad when he stands toe-to-toe with the longest reigning NXT champion in the history of NXT.
Yeah, and he's doing fucking swantons and backflips and everything is not nailed down.
Hold on to that minute because we need to hold on to that for a minute so we can go over the world title match, and then let's come back to this because I have a point I want to make, but after we talk about the main event.
All right, Io Shirai defeated Dakota Kai to no one's surprise.
Can I jump in here for a second?
Take it.
I actually like Dakota Kai, and I don't know why.
I don't know why either.
I know it's not. No. Hear me out. It's not so much like her wrestling ability, but like I don't know. I just think she's like bitchy, and I don't know. I just like. I think I like her heel work. You know what I mean? Like she's not like, oh, I'm the biggest, I'm the baddest, and she's not chicken shit. She's just I'm just like slimy. And you haven't really had like a women's slimy heel, Jeff, in a while.
Pull up a picture of what she looks like right now. She is exactly what Bayley is on the main roster, both in looks and in attitude.
And
but with in-ring work, if you want to take that route, Dakota Kai is hands and knees above Bayley.
Again,
hands and knees in there, and you go back and watch the SummerSlam match.
You
go ahead and watch the SummerSlam match. Go watch it. That thing is full of botches.
No, I'm not saying either one of them's good. I'm just saying Dakota Kai was not ready for that spot. She'd probably be a pretty good heel manager for somebody. But
look, I'm willing to give NXT 5 more minutes, but we're gonna need to keep moving here. But Ryan, we'll have to talk off camera about that. I think I disagree with that one.
Agree to disagree, my friend. It's all good.
I'll take it. Cheers to you. Main event time. Keith Lee loses to Karrion Kross following a super Doomsday Saito. Karrion Kross with the win. Separated his shoulder early in the match. Apparently it was during a clothesline in the first couple of minutes. I gotta tell y'all, if I didn't know that, I was gonna be unbearable on here talking about how you guys get on Kenny Omega facial expressions.
Oh no, his are right behind him.
I'm not opposed. I'm just saying, judge everyone accordingly. But of course, I know Jeff Hawley ain't a big Killer Cross guy, so I'm not holding it against him on this one.
Yeah, I'm not a huge Killer Cross guy.
So now that we've acknowledged Cross has won the title, we can, spoiler alert, Keith Lee's making his debut on Raw tonight. They announced that already. It's not really a spoiler. Pat McAfee just made your longest standing champion look like crap. Damian Priest just won the North American title. What if Karrion Kross is out for 3 months?
Yeah, well,
you've now buried your whole whole roster.
Yeah, yeah, man. But I'm just
it's Adam Cole if he's under contract.
No, it's not.
It's gonna be Ciampa.
Yeah, but let's talk about the disservice that they do to Keith Lee.
Damn.
So he wins the belt. And then he wins the belt, and then they make it seem like, oh, title versus title. Then he wins the North American title, and he's double champ, and he gets confetti and the whole schmaz. And then this was his first defense, right?
No, he beat Dijak for the defense.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
but
so
it was
his
on an
second.
episode of NXT.
Oh, okay, yeah. So this is his first pay-per-view defense. Oh, and then he just out of the kindness of his heart, he just drops the North American title. You know what I'm saying? And
No,
now
he was stripped by Regal, wasn't he?
No,
Yeah.
no, he wanted to give other people like
Yeah,
a shot, an
yeah.
opportunity. Yeah, so he drops the belt, drops the North American title, then only to get beat by Killer Cross on his first, pay-per-view title defense. Great.
Well,
good job, WWE.
Well, I mean,
Yeah,
if you believe the rumors that that was part of the, remember Cross signed when they were throwing money at everybody to keep him from going to AEW, and he was promised that championship according to some rumors that when he signed the contract.
I'm sure he was
with the belt. So, but I don't know. I like him.
2 more minutes.
Randy Orton just kicked what's his face's head completely off. Just throw it out there.
Roman Reigns?
Drew McIntyre.
Damn.
Oh no! Damn.
Literally kicked it off of his body.
We got 2 more minutes.
Couldn't knock those veneers out of his mouth.
The point is, you just buried your locker room. You're going to recycle Ciampa or Cole or Gargano as your champ if Cross has to drop the belt. Your roster is stale. There's barely anything to be excited about. What do we do? What do we do at NXT?
So
Pat McAfee going to win the world title?
I'm gonna say
my thoughts on that, and I thought that the first match of the night was the best match of the night, and I think that it's a strong possibility.
Yeah.
Your next NXT champion is going to be Finn Balor.
Mm-hmm. Could be.
Because he's not the leader of Retribution. That's dumb.
Hold on.
guys, we only got 1 more minute.
You're just recycling a champion. Who gives a crap? And
And
also,
Gimmick, but okay.
Finn is the best pick to be the leader of Retribution because some monster attacked him, put him on IR, and then he got demoted. He has the most storyline-wise. He has the most reason to be the head of something that wants to take down Raw or SmackDown.
They also managed to make Pat McAfee the biggest heel in the damn company.
Yeah, so he should get a title shot, right?
We'll see.
Who else is there?
I'll say this. I think AEW comes off as stale because their competing was probably the freshest thing in professional
You
wrestling.
mean NXT?
NXT, whatever I said.
Mm-hmm.
But-
It's when they put. It's been since they put them on USA, and they tried to make it. They made it a third brand.
It's been since they didn't leave it
We gotta
alone.
move to SummerSlam.
Mm-hmm.
Do we have to?
Yes, we do. Apollo Crews defeated MVP with no shenanigans on the pre-show.
Good. Happy for Apollo.
Bailey defeated Asuka with a little shenanigans from Sasha Banks.
Pass.
I actually like that. That one of them kept the belt.
It made storyline sense.
Yep.
Street Profits defeated Andrade and Angel Garza.
Same as we've seen on Raw for months now.
Hate this because they're teasing a breakup between Garza and Andrade.
Good. Maybe they can be better as friggin' single stars because they shouldn't be in a tag team.
Or off
One of them
television.
won't be on TV, yeah.
Maybe go back to NXT.
I mean, there is going to be a draft coming up. Mandy Rose defeated Sonya Deville. Sonya Deville is gone from WWE for the time being, at least. It's from what is being reported by Dave Meltzer. The stipulation was changed because Sonya Deville's lawyer thought her coming in to testify against him with a shaved head would not help her case.
Right.
Agreed.
It would make her look too unhinged.
And you knew Mandy wasn't going to lose that match if hair was on the line.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Plus, hopefully this gives Sonya Deville some well-deserved time off. I think.
But also, can they push her to the moon when she comes back? Because
Please.
she is way better than Mandy Rose.
Well, Mandy Rose can't turn over a table.
Oh my God, she's awful. She's awful. She is a complete throwback to the Divas.
Mm-hmm.
Hashtag camel toe.
Not on this show. We don't need to talk
Too
about
late.
Bezos.
Too late.
Next we have to talk about Charlotte. We ain't doing that.
That's not true at all.
Oh,
It's the whole other side of the body.
Seth Rollins defeated Dominic Mysterio.
Yes.
So I'm
Doc-
going to be honest. I hated this match at first because I liked the story, and I just didn't like the fact that we have to shoehorn Dominic into this whole thing. I went back and watched it, and it was a good match. I didn't. I loved the Seth Rollins attire. I hated the Dominic Mysterio attire.
Only hated the
Dominic
whole-
looked good. He
He
looked good.
overperformed. He absolutely
Yeah.
overperformed.
It
Yeah,
was better than I
Say
thought.
this, though.
But it's the same problem with the Cole McAfee thing.
Yep.
It's the
Exactly.
same. I like I said earlier today, I don't have a problem with McAfee or Dominic because they both. I think you could say they both overperformed what was expected of them.
He had expectations.
But the
Yeah,
booking should have never put them where they were, and
No,
that
Pat.
is the problem.
No, Pat, I think me. I beat the same drum. You're right. I think the Dominic one worked just a little bit more because he's not a kid, but he's younger and his dad's a wrestler. You know what I'm saying? Like I understood what they were trying to do.
So
I mean, gosh, his dad is dead. I mean, he's been in wrestling for almost a decade now. I mean, they had a ladder match over freaking custody of him. Like, he's got to get a break eventually.
15 years since his original debut on TV.
So
There
for real, go back and watch this little interview they did on WWE YouTube, and the whole thing is about. I wish Eddie was here. I wish Eddie was here to see me debut. It's been 15 years now. I was like, damn, man.
That got
You're Eddie's kid.
Yeah.
He even dropped a frog splash last night.
Yeah.
Which is the finish?
Which match would you watch again between the Dominic match and then the Pat McAfee match?
I watched
the Dominic.
I think Dominic.
Nah, not me, buddy. Because I'll watch Adam Cole all day, every day. But,
Yeah, I watch Cole just because of Cole.
As much as I
Unfortunately.
dislike Seth Rollins as what he's become outside of wrestling, he is still one of the best workers.
He carried Dominic to an incredible match.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was way better. The storytelling was great.
About 11 more minutes.
I thought the storytelling was great with Ray. The handcuff spot was really good.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was really good. Well booked match.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I thought that Seth looked good without making Dominic look too good.
Yes.
Oh, they are hyping up Keith Lee.
As they
Yeah,
say,
because he's former NXT champion
look,
for like 3 weeks.
don't forget, just because what happened to him just now, he should be a top guy in business.
Him getting the immediate call up is why him dropping the belt so fast doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter. It didn't hurt him because
Unless next week he's fighting in Raw Underground, and
no, but I'm saying
2 weeks from now he's on main event.
It doesn't affect his NXT legacy. People aren't going to remember that he only held the belt for 3 weeks. They're going to remember that he won both belts
The first
and broke Adam Cole's streak.
But God, I hope they do him right. He deserves it. He is a top tier talent, in my opinion.
Caramel chocolate.
Asuka defeated Sasha Banks by submission. And here is where this is kind of stupid. So they're really plugging this whole, Bailey wouldn't sacrifice, or Bailey wouldn't, help Sasha Banks. So that's why Sasha lost. Sasha went for her and got countered.
You're right,
Bailey.
Matt. I was thinking the same thing. If they wanted to play that, that's fine, but they didn't do it correctly.
So they the way they tried, and it's bad because it didn't look this way at all. The argument they were trying to make is when Sasha got hit in the first match is what hung Asuka up to get small package for the pin.
Mm-hmm.
So Bailey refusing to take the shot, getting her hung up in the ropes.
Mm-hmm.
Like she wouldn't do the deed for Sasha. And that's the angle they're trying to sell on it, which is stupid. But like,
turn around to eat the finish or the attempt at the finish.
Mm-hmm.
Let's move on. Drew McIntyre defeated Randy Orton. He had countered an RKO attempt into a backslide for a 3 count.
Mm-hmm. But the best comment that I heard about, because a lot of people are like, I guess they crapped on this. I thought this was match of the night, but a lot of wrestlers were putting out, oh my God, a wrestling move wins a wrestling match. Yeah.
I think this overexceeded everybody's expectations. I think for the most part, people thought that this would be another plotting Randy Orton match, and then a lot of us thought that Randy Orton was going to win. But I love it. In time.
I'm conflicted. I'm conflicted because I enjoyed the match. Mm-hmm. I was happy that Drew held on to the belt in a lot of ways because I want to see, in some ways, I want to see him get a big run. But you have to be consistent. And in my opinion, Orton should have won the title based on the storyline that they're telling. The story that they're telling is wasted if Randy doesn't get the belt, which leads me to my next point. He's going to win it at Payback. And
that's my thing.
And that's going to negate the whole match at SummerSlam. It's not going to make it is.
I don't think so.
No, it's completely meaningless for them to have a pay-per-view the next week in order to win the belt.
Yeah, but
completely meaningless.
But that's the WWE way,
Well, exactly. That's why they suck. That's what we're talking about.
Well, no, yes, but I think in that situation between Orton and McIntyre, that was the best. That was actually best case scenario.
I disagree. I think Orton winning the belt was the best case scenario.
No. Well, I'm saying like if you're not going to put it on Orton, like which I agree with you, Orton should have went over. But if you're not going to put it on him, that was booked probably the best way you could have done at Barn, like him getting destroyed or
But do you feel that way? Do you feel that way if Orton comes out and RKO's him and pins him at Payback and wins the title?
Like I said, I think it depends on how they do it. If they come out and Orton cheats to win on those lines, because remember, he did low blow Edge to pick up the win.
I mean, Orton's character work, I mean, everybody knows. I mean, when he backslid him and he rolled out the ring, and obviously he wasn't hurt, he backslid him and he rolled out the ring, and Orton was looking like, man, I'm going to get your ass. Like, you know what I'm saying? It was good, and it's believable because it's Randy Orton. Yeah.
Well, I thought this showed
it's believable because that's what happens in wrestling matches. Sometimes you just get caught.
Yeah. That's why I liked it.
The correct way.
Yes. Agreed. Not a roll-up either.
Right.
Main event time in a match that I think went about 6 minutes too long. The Fiend, Bray Wyatt, became your Universal Champion, pinning the monster Braun Strowman. And let's just get to the point that everyone wants to talk about. We got 5 minutes following the Fiend's win. We were introduced to a returning Roman Reigns wearing his new Wreck Everyone and Leave shirt. And from the sounds of it, they piped in booze.
New teeth.
Yeah, he did have new teeth. But they're trying to say that he's not a heel. He's just going to be edgier. So he's going to be Edgelord Reigns.
Not a bad guy. He's not a good guy. He's just Roman Reigns.
He's still the guy.
He's literally the same thing.
Yeah, I don't think that his position in the company has changed since he left for COVID. I don't. He left. He was a top tier guy. He's going to come back, and he's a top tier guy. He looks great.
I'm going to tell you guys this right now. Ryan, maybe you need to host Sunday, because if they announce that he is wrestling for the title, I am not participating in Payback.
Oh, great! Everybody just leave my house early.
You guys can have it here. I will not participate. I will go to my mom's. I will sit in my room. I'm not watching it. I refuse.
Ooh, wow!
I absolutely refuse.
So
this made no sense. Let me rant for 2 minutes, and then I'll shut up for the rest.
Make
of the
it
show.
1 minute, and it's a deal.
All right. So here's the thing. Nothing about this makes any fucking sense. You have since the Mania have been building Braun and the Fiend as your two headlining wrestlers on that show, and every bit of building of their character was just shit down the toilet, with Roman Reigns coming and burying both of them after this match. As bad as Retribution is, it's been the main storyline for a month, and you don't have anything come from them on this.
There was no lights flickering. There was
There
no nothing on the pay-per-view.
Nothing.
Well, because it's
and then some
Thunderdome.
idiots want to be like, oh, Roman Reigns is going to be the main guy from Retribution. Which, if that happens, it's the worst booked thing ever. Because what the fuck does he have to be Retribution from WWE about? Being pushed too many times for the world title after being booed out of fucking arenas? He is the worst thing in wrestling.
I happen to come to Jesus.
Look, I will not watch anything WWE if he's on it. I can't do it. I said to Dwight Matt right before he came out last night, you know what? This was a good pay-per-view, and I'm going to watch Raw and SmackDown. And then Matt said,
show's not over yet.
Don't say what you actually said. They still have time to screw this up.
Oh, yeah. That's
And literally Roman Reigns hit the ring, speared the Fiend, and I said, fuck it, I'm out.
Did he wreck did he wreck everything and leave?
He did.
Yeah, well,
Oh no, but he held the title up before he left.
right.
So, and no music played.
Yeah.
No music played. So maybe we're gonna get new music for Roman. Here's my thing.
Which should be great.
They
Bono.
need to do something so he is not the same thing that he was for the past 5 years.
He's not capable of character work.
No,
we found that out within the John Cena feud.
We've already seen that he is not capable of character work.
No, because they haven't made him do anything else. He's only been the Shield guy.
Go back to FCW.
His
Disagree.
His FCW stuff, he had 2 things where he had a promo as a heel where he talked about making more money than other people.
Yeah,
that was it.
And it was Joe. It was Joe talking as Joe. And Joe is Roman, and Roman is Joe.
Right.
I think you mean Einhorn is Finkel and Finkel is Einhorn.
You're goddamn right.
We got many. Here's what I'm going to say. I do not have high expectations for this because I expect it to be what it has been with him.
Mm.
It is.
It needs to be Roman.
If I'm wrong, hey man, I will gladly come on here and eat crow next week about it. But I'm not gonna be.
I'm gonna say this right now that if we get heel Roman Reigns, I'm buying a T-shirt because I'm with it because he needs to be that because they say the best characters are just an extension of you. He needs to embrace what he is. Well, and he's the most hated guy in wrestling. He needs to embrace that.
All right.
Yeah,
guys,
I agree.
Time to wrap it up. It's 8:30. That hour went quick.
Yeah. Plus, we got to watch SmackDown and see Roman Reigns kill everyone.
He's going to be on Raw tonight.
He's going to be on Raw tonight. Yeah, that's
we'll
right.
see.
We don't have to wait.
So,
They're already plugging it, Matt.
I'm just saying I haven't seen anything yet, so I don't know.
Well, he hasn't been on yet, but I'm sure he will.
Don't worry, Roman Reigns is the biggest star ever in the world with his new veneers. He'll be on every single piece of WWE merch and every show.
Which is another reason he's not going to be a heel.
Surprised he doesn't come on to NXT and just spirit carrying Cross Wednesday.
Thank you all for coming in, showing up on a Monday night. Please like, share, subscribe. Check out the YouTube channel, Referee's Discretion. And if you can't join us on the podcast, if you can't join us on Facebook Live, you can always find us over on YouTube. If you missed this week's episode, go back and watch. See if we were called any of our predictions were right on Thursday. So, we'll see y'all on Thursday.
Yeah, we will.
Have a good week. Bye, everybody.
Peace.
Referee's Discretion.